It's a crucial day for the disqualified MLAs. The Supreme Court is likely to give its verdict in the plea filed by them. But the bigger worry for the disqualified leaders is whether the Supreme Court will admit fresh evidence in the case. The Congress has approached the top court with the video of B.S. Yediyurappa crediting disqualified MLAs for the collapse of the government. The Supreme Court is expected to deliver its judgment today after arguments from both the sides. But the lawyers for Congress and JDS will now file an affidavit urging the court to take cognizance of the video clip. They say the clip proves BJP leaders had engineered the fall of the coalition government by inducing 17 MLAs to resign. My colleague Pratibha joins us over the phone line. Well, it's a very crucial day for the disqualified MLAs. Pratibha, they are desperately hoping for some respite. But of course, on the other side, the Congress party leaders are also likely to submit the video in Supreme Court. It can clearly go against them, isn't it?
Absolutely. So there are two things that can happen here. On one hand, the Supreme Court gives out its order in the case because it had said that today, after listening to the arguments from all sides, today the Supreme Court will decide. So that's likely to happen today. And if that happens, then yet again, these are some tense moments for the disqualified MLAs because a lot depends on what the order of the Supreme Court would be. But on the other hand, now there's fresh trouble for them because the Congress party has already said that this video of B.S. Yediyurappa, where he's talking about the disqualified MLAs and talking about their sacrifice that led to the BJP forming the government in the state, this would be submitted as evidence in the top court. So the tension of whether this would be admitted in the Supreme Court or not, if that happens as well, there are two ways of looking at it. On one hand, there would be a delay. If the Supreme Court admits this as evidence, then for the trouble later, more than that, before the by-elections, the verdict could be delayed further. So any more delay in the verdict means that they can't prepare for the by-polls. They've not even been able to openly campaign in their particular constituencies because they're still waiting for the Supreme Court to give its go-ahead. So that, and also, of course, if it is admitted as evidence and if it goes against them, then their political career would come to a complete end. So for the disqualified MLAs, today is going to be extremely crucial to see, firstly, whether the Supreme Court admits this as evidence or not, and secondly, what the order would be in case this is not admitted. Today, the Congress party has already said that it would be admitting this particular video in the Supreme Court as evidence. The party has also planned protests across the state. So legal troubles aside, there's also going to be the trouble of the image hit that they will have to take because the by-elections are less than a month away. The disqualified MLAs are really hoping to build up an image so that they can approach those in their constituency, the voters in their constituency, face them and seek for votes. But with this embarrassing video coming out, Yediyurappa as well as disqualified MLAs have been put in a spot. So a lot of trouble waiting. More importantly, what would happen in the Supreme Court, all eyes would be on that.
Right, Pratibha, many thanks for joining us with all of those important details.